Om Namah Shivaya. Hi friends, how are you? In this video we are going to learn about posterior triangle. Okay, posterior triangle. It is the triangular space on the side of the neck behind the sternocleidomastoid muscle. It is the triangular space on the side of the neck behind the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Its apex is apex of the posterior triangle is directed upwards and backwards toward the mastoid process. Apex is directed upwards and backwards toward the mastoid process, and the base downwards toward the clavicle, and the base directed downwards toward the clavicle. Next, boundaries of the posterior triangle. Boundaries of the posterior triangle. Anterior, posterior, inferior, that means base, and superior, and it is apex. Okay, first anterior. Anterior border of the posterior triangle is posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. See here, if you think it is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, this is the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and this is the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Okay, this posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle forms the anterior border to the posterior triangle. That means this border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is a posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, forms the anterior border for posterior triangle. Okay, next, posterior border of the posterior triangle. Anterior border of trapezius muscle. That means if you think this is the trapezius muscle, this is the anterior border and this is the posterior border. That means this border, okay, this anterior border of trapezius muscle forms the posterior border for posterior triangle. Next, inferior or base. Superior aspect of the middle third of the clavicle. Inferior base is superior aspect of middle third of the clavicle. That means if you see, this is the clavicle, this is the superior aspect, this is the middle third. Okay, this is the medial third, medial one third. Divide this into three parts. This is the clavicle, and divide this into three parts. This is the medial third, this is the lateral third, this is the lateral one third, this is the middle one third. Clear guys? Medial, this is the lateral, this is the middle. Okay, and the inferior base of the posterior triangle is formed by the superior aspect of the middle third of the clavicle. Clear guys? Next, superior or apex. Meeting of sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles at the superficial superior nuchal line of the occipital bone. Superior or apex. Meeting point of sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscle at the superior nuchal line of the occipital muscle. Okay, I show you that in the diagram. See the diagram. See this diagram. This diagram shows all the borders of the posterior triangle. See here, this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and the anterior border of the posterior triangle formed by the posterior. This is the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is the posterior border. See, anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle forms the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle forms the anterior border for the posterior triangle. And next, this is the anterior border of trapezius muscle. This is the trapezial muscle, trapezius muscle, and the anterior border of trapezius muscle forms the posterior border for posterior triangle. Okay. Next, inferior border. This is the inferior border of the posterior triangle. This is the inferior border of the posterior triangle. It is formed by superior aspect. See here, this is the inferior aspect. This is the superior aspect of clavicle, and the inferior border or base is formed by the middle superior aspect to middle one third superior aspect of the clavicle. Next, see here, this is the superior nuchal line where the two muscles, and the two muscles are sternocleidomastoid muscle and trapezius muscle meet at this point. See here, meeting of the both muscles at the superior nuchal line. This is about the boundaries of posterior triangle. Next, roof of the posterior triangle. Roof. Roof is formed by the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia stretching between the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles. See once again. Roof is formed by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia stretching between the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles. Next, the superficial fascia overlying the roof contains the platysma, external jugular and posterior jugular veins, and cutaneous nerves and vessels. See once again, the superficial fascia overlining the roof contains platysma, external jugular and posterior jugular veins, external jugular and posterior jugular veins, that means two veins this and cutaneous nerves and vessels. Next, the structures piercing the roof of the posterior triangle are four cutaneous branches of cervical flexus. Four cutaneous branches of cervical flexus. Lesser occipital nerve formed by C2, greater auricular nerve C2 and C3, transverse cervical nerve C2 and C3, and the supraclavicular nerve formed by the C3 and C4. These are the four cutaneous branches of cervical flexus. See once again. Lesser occipital, greater auricular, transverse cervical, and supraclavicular nerves. They pierce the roof near the middle of the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. They pierce the roof near the middle of the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. See this figure. This is the green thing you are seeing here is the roof, okay, which is formed by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. This is the roof. See, this whole thing, this is the roof, which is formed by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. And next, and the nerves that piercing the roof, okay, and the nerves piercing the roof near the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. See here, this is the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, and the nerves that piercing the roof of posterior triangle are, see one by one, greater auricular nerve, lesser occipital nerve, greater auricular nerve, transverse cervical, and supraclavicular nerves. Okay, these are the nerves that piercing the deep cervical fascia near the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Next, external jugular vein. It begins just below the angle of mandible. It begins just below the angle of the mandible, runs downward and backward, crossing the sternocleidomastoid obliquely and under the cover of the platysma. External jugular vein. It begins just below the angle of mandible and runs downward and backward across, crossing the sternocleidomastoid obliquely under the covering of the platysma. See here, this is the external jugular vein. This is the external jugular vein which crosses the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is the sternocleidomastoid muscle obliquely. Okay. This is the external jugular vein which crosses the sternocleidomastoid muscle obliquely. Next, floor of the posterior triangle. Floor of the posterior triangle. The floor of the posterior triangle is muscular and is formed from above downwards by following muscles. The floor of the posterior triangle is muscular and is formed from above downwards, like this, from above to downwards by the following muscles. See one by one. Semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, levator scapulae, scalenus medius, and first digitation of serratus anterior. It is only sometimes. See once again. Floor of posterior triangle is muscular and is formed from above downwards by the following muscles. And what are these muscles? See one by one. Semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, levator scapulae, scalenus medius, and first digitation of serratus anterior. SS, LSF. All are S. See here. S, 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 and S. See here. These are the four muscles that form the floor of the posterior triangle. These are the four muscles that forms the floor of the posterior triangle. See one by one. This is the first. Next, this is the second. Next, this is the third. Next, this is the fourth muscle. Okay guys, see one by one. And the first, this is the semispinalis capitis. Next, this is the splenius capitis. Next, third is the third muscle of, this is the levator scapulae. And next, fourth, it is formed by scalenus medius. These are the four muscles that forms the floor of the posterior triangle. Semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, levator scapulae, scalenus medius. Okay. First digitation of serratus anterior is only sometimes, so is not given them, is not mentioned in the diagram. Next, facial carpet of the posterior triangle. Facial carpet of the posterior triangle. The muscular floor of posterior triangle is covered by prevertebral layer of deep cervical fascia, which forms the facial carpet of the floor of the posterior triangle. It forms axillary sheath around subclavian artery and brachial fluxus traveling from the root of the neck to upper limb. The lower part of the posterior triangle is crossed by inferior belly of omohyoid superficial to Facial carpet. See once again. Facial carpet of the posterior triangle. The muscular floor of posterior triangle is covered by prevertebral layer of deep cervical fascia, which forms the facial carpet of the floor of the posterior triangle. That means this prevertebral layer of deep cervical fascia forms the facial carpet of floor of the posterior triangle. It forms axillary sheath around subclavian artery and brachial fluxes traveling from the root of the neck to the upper limb. Next, the lower part of the posterior triangle is covered by inferior belly of omohyoid superficial to the facial carpet. Okay, the lower part of the posterior triangle, lower part only, is crossed by inferior belly of omohyoid superficial to the facial carpet. That means this inferior belly of omohyoid lies superficial to, that is present on the facial carpet, that is present on the prevertebral layer of deep cervical fascia. This inferior belly of omohyoid lies on the prevertebral layer of deep cervical fascia, that means superficial to facial carpet. Subdivisions of the posterior triangle. Subdivisions of the posterior triangle. The posterior triangle is subdivided into two parts by the inferior belly of omohyoid, which crosses the lower part of the triangle obliquely upward and forward. The posterior triangle is subdivided into two parts by the inferior belly of omohyoid, which crosses the lower part of the posterior triangle obliquely upward and forward. First, and the first part and a larger upper part called occipital triangle, a smaller lower part called subclavian or supraclavicular triangle. These parts are so named because they contain occipital and subclavian arteries respectively. See once again. That means this posterior triangle is again divided into two triangles, and the upper triangle we call that, upper and larger triangle we call that occipital triangle because it contains the occipital artery, and the next smaller lower part, the triangle we call that subclavian and supraclavicular triangle because we call that it contains the subclavian artery. That means posterior triangle divided into two triangles. These are occipital and subclavian triangle. Occipital triangle, subclavian triangle. See this figure. This is the posterior triangle. Okay, this is the posterior triangle. See here. This is the inferior belly of omohyoid muscle. This is the inferior belly of omohyoid muscle which crosses posterior triangle upwards and forwards. See, it crosses upwards and forwards. See here, it crosses upwards and forwards, and this inferior belly of omohyoid divides the posterior triangle, and this inferior belly of omohyoid divides this posterior triangle into two triangles. See, are you able to observe two triangles? See here, this is one triangle and this is another triangle. See here, this is one triangle, okay, and this is another triangle, and this upper larger triangle we call this occipital triangle. We call this upper and larger triangle as occipital triangle because this occipital why we call this as occipital triangle means it contains the occipital artery, so we call this occipital triangle. Next, see here, this is the supraclavicular or subclavian triangle. Why we call this subclavian triangle? Because this triangle contains the subclavian artery. See here, this is the subclavian artery. So we call this smaller lower triangle as subclavian triangle. Okay, we also call this as supraclavicular triangle. This is the clavicle and this triangle lies just superior to the clavicle. So we call this supraclavicular, that means superior to clavicle. Okay, this is about the subdivisions of posterior triangle. Next, contents. Okay, first in the occipital triangle above the omohyoid. Okay, see one by one. Spinal accessory nerve, third and fourth cervical nerves providing branches to the levator scapulae and trapezius muscle, dorsal scapular nerve, four cutaneous branches of cervical flexus, initial part. Okay, next superficial transverse cervical artery and occipital artery. See once again. Contents in the occipital triangle are above the omohyoid. Spinal accessory nerve, third and fourth cervical nerve providing branches to levator scapulae and trapezius muscle, dorsal scapular nerve, four cutaneous branches of the cervical flexus, superficial transverse cervical artery and occipital artery. Okay, see this figure. This figure shows the contents in the posterior triangle. Okay, first see the contents in occipital triangle. Okay, what are the contents present in the occipital triangle? See one by one. First, spinal accessory nerve. See here, this is the omohyoid nerve and present the triangle present above this we call the occipital triangle. See here, what are the contents present above this? Present above inferior belly of omohyoid. See one by one. Spinal accessory nerve. See, this is the spinal accessory nerve. Next, see here, these are the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes along the spinal accessory nerve. Next, supraclavicular nerve. Okay, supraclavicular nerve, and this nerve is formed by the C3 and C4 cervical nerves. Okay, that means the C3 and C4 cervical nerves that supplies the trapezius and levator scapulae muscles. Okay, see here, this is the levator scapulae muscle. See this whole thing, this is the levator scapulae muscle. This C3 and C4 cervical nerve supply to levator scapulae and trapezius muscle. Next, dorsal scapular nerve, which is formed by the C5 nerve. Dorsal scapular nerve, this is the dorsal scapular nerve which is formed by the C5 nerve. Next, four cutaneous branches, and the four cutaneous branches initial nerves. Okay, four cutaneous nerves that are lesser occipital nerve, great auricular nerve, transverse cervical nerve and supraclavicular nerve. Initial parts of the four cutaneous nerves: lesser occipital nerve, great auricular nerve, transverse cervical nerve, supraclavicular nerve. Next, superficial branch of transverse cervical artery. See here, this is the transverse cervical artery and this is the superficial branch of the transverse cervical artery, and the superficial branch of transverse cervical artery is also a part of it, also a content of posterior occipital triangle of posterior triangle. Next, The main thing is occipital artery. Occipital artery is the main content in the occipital triangle, and these are the occipital lymph nodes. Next, contents in the subclavian are supraclavicular triangle, that means below the omohyoid. See one by one. Third part of subclavian artery, subclavian vein, terminal part of external jugular vein, trunks of brachial fluxus, superficial or transverse cervical nerve, superficial or transverse cervical artery, suprascapular artery, dorsal scapular artery, and lymph nodes. See once again, the contents in the subclavian or supraclavicular triangle are below the omohyoid. Third part of subclavian artery, subclavian vein, terminal part of external jugular vein, trunks of brachial fluxus, superficial or transverse cervical or supraclavicular or dorsal scapular artery, and lymph nodes. See this figure. This is the omohyoid, and below this is the suprascapular or subclavian or supraclavicular triangle. See the contents in this triangle. Terminal part of external jugular vein, terminal part of external jugular vein, subclavian vein, suprascapular artery. This is the suprascapular artery. Next, suprascapular nerve. This is the suprascapular nerve, and these are the brachial fluxus. These are the brachial fluxus. This is the nerve to subclavius, and these are the supraclavicular lymph nodes. This is the supraclavicular lymph nodes, and the main content in the subclavian triangle is subclavian artery. This is the subclavian artery. You must have to write this, okay? Subclavian artery. Okay guys, this is about the contents in the posterior triangle. Okay, you must have to write in examination. Next, note. The most important contents of posterior triangle are third part of subclavian artery, brachial fluxus cervical part, spinal accessory nerve, and lymph nodes. See once again, the most important contents of posterior triangle are third part of subclavian artery, brachial fluxus cervical part, spinal accessory nerve, and lymph nodes. Next, all the important contents of the posterior triangle lie deep to facial carpet of the floor except spinal accessory nerve, which lies just under beneath the roof. In operations on the posterior triangle, all the structures except spinal accessory nerve are safe, provided facial carpet of the facial triangle is less intact. See once again, all the important contents of the posterior triangle lie deep to the facial carpet of the floor except spinal accessory nerve, which lies just beneath the roof. In the operations on the posterior triangle, all the structures except the spinal accessory nerve are safe. Provided facial carpet of posterior triangle is less intact. Okay guys, this is about the posterior triangle. If you like this video, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.